The father did not look that old. In 1948, still the father was young until the Nakba took place. And then from that day, when they became refugees, the father suddenly became older than before. He looked as if he hadn't slept for a long time. Shabab Utabaya, please pay attention. This is the answer to the question, to this huge question. What is the impact of the Nakba on these characters in particular, this Palestinian family in particular, and the Palestinian people in general? On you and on me, my parents, your grandparents, what's the impact of the Nakba? Now, this is what he's trying to answer. This is what he's trying to answer. Look at the father. He became older. He looked as if he hadn't slept for a long time. You know, like a very, very old man who hasn't slept for a long time. He was standing among the belongings. You remember the belongings? He took a lorry, if you remember, and they took their belongings. If you remember, we talked about, this is the second question, Ya Sabaya, Ya Shabab. We said the meaning of the Nakba, the meaning of home. Home, what is home? Now this is the answer. You lose home, you become almost nothing. But notice, Nakba, ethnic cleansing, identity. What does it mean to be a Palestinian? You know, inshallah, you will travel abroad and you will meet people, foreigners, who will ask you, where are you from? You say, from Palestine. And what? What's that? What is Palestine? Notice, your identity is interconnected in a way with your homeland, the concept of home. Now, when your home collapses, what happens to your identity? They are interrelated. Okay. So the father was standing among the belongings which were thrown over the side of the road. So here you have your belongings, your property thrown on the side of the road, on the side of the road. So what is your home? Where are you? I mean, this is the question that we still have not been able to answer as Palestinians. Because then, who are you? Where are you? Where do you come from? And you, if I were to say any word, he, the father, would explode in my face. Damn your father. Of course, you know the term in Arabic. Yalla an abu. Right? Damn your father. The father is extremely angry. And this is why he's not willing to listen to anything. So even the child knows this. No, the child's world is, it's his family. Now, if you cannot say anything to your father, where can you go? Your home is your shelter. Then there is no home. What can you do as a child? Yesterday was the anniversary of the killing of Shaheed Muhammad al-Durra, Allah yarhamah. And Muhammad al-Durra died his father's hands, asking his father to protect him. And I know, you know what I'm talking about. And if your father cannot protect you, what is left? And this is what we are talking about here. So this is a child, he says, I want to run to my father, but I know if I say anything, my father would explode in my face and say, damn your father, damn you. These two swears, damn your father, damn you, were clear on his face. The child can read, in fact, his father's face like an adult. Even I was brought up in a Catholic conservative school. So he used to go to a Christian school. Is he Christian? Possibly. Possibly. You know, us Palestinians, we have Muslims and we have Christians. So he used to go a Catholic conservative Words are important here. What is the meaning of conservative? You need to find out, okay? So he used to go to a Catholic conservative school. That moment, look at this, which means he used to go to a religious school, and then he doubted that God wanted to make his people happy, because he used to go to this Catholic school. They used to tell him, Jesus Christ, you know, in Christianity, God wants to make you happy. Now, as a child, he starts questioning this. Does God want to make us happy? So why are we refugees? What are these questions? We call them existential questions. Write that down, ya shababu, ya sabaya. I want you to look up the definition, the meaning first, and then the definition of existentialism. All right? Existentialism. If you don't know how to write it, remind me later on when we finish the story to write it for you. But now I'm reading this with you. So this is an existential question. What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of happiness? Does God want us to be happy? And if we become sad, what does this mean about our life? Okay, what's the meaning of life? I doubted, they used to tell him at school, I doubted that God would hear and see everything. The child, he starts asking serious questions. You know, when we are children, who created us? And he see everything. We're talking about a child, a little child, who's suffering with his family. So God, help us. All the time, all the paintings. I'm sorry, one of you has to turn off your, you have to turn off or mute your mic, please. Just making noise, okay? Let me see who that is. I think Hiba. Hiba, please take your mobile, or Nida. Hiba Shaheen. Turn off your mic, please, Hiba. Okay. These two, all the paintings that show God. Remember when you go to a church, you see paintings of Jesus Christ, Sayyidina al-Masih, so paintings, all the paintings that show God loving the children and smiling at them looked like a lie. I stopped believing those paintings. Among other lies told by people who build conservative schools. So he's saying to us, those teachers who used to teach us at the conservative school were liars. And why were they building schools for which they can charge extra fees, money? Okay. I was sure that the God we knew in Palestine left her as well, and that he was refugee somewhere in the world. God was coming with us, feeling our pain. He didn't leave us. He was with us. He left Palestine with us, and he's with us now. And that he was incapable of solving his own problems, and that we, look at the question. This is a child talking. We're not talking about an adult, ya sabaya shabab. A child, he's asking serious questions. The meaning of life. We, the refugees who are sitting, we are now sitting on the footpath. We were waiting for a new destiny to find us a solution. So we are refugees, and we don't know how to solve our problem. What should we do? What can we do? What is the meaning of becoming a refugee? We were responsible. Here is the point of Sabaya. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. We were responsible to find a solution ourselves. We were responsible to find us. We shouldn't wait for somebody else to find a solution for us, for ourselves. So we have to find that solution. We were responsible for finding a roof. Look at the problem now. So what is their problem? Finding a roof over our heads. Shelter. Shelter. First question. Nakba, ethnic cleansing, loss of home, loss of identity. What is the first point? Finding a roof for the family over our heads. Yeah. The pain struck the head of the naive young boy. Notice he's saying about him, this is what he's saying about himself. He was a naive child. This is why he asked all these questions. Oh, I used to go to church. Sorry, not church, a school, conservative school. They used to teach us about Jesus Christ. And then I am asking about Jesus Christ. Does he really want to help us? And now, as a child, I am losing my childhood. I'm losing my childhood. I am no longer naive. Night, it was, it was during the day. Now, night. What is he saying about night? Night, excuse me. Night was awful. They're no longer in Haifa, sorry, Yafa, no longer in Akka, no longer in Naqura, no longer in Palestine. They are in Lebanon, strange country for them, Sidon, Saida, and now it is night, and therefore it is awful. They don't know where to go and what to do. And then dark started to fall bit by bit. So what are they going to do? I was, look at the conclusion. I was frightened. I was frightened. Of course he's frightened. This is a child who doesn't know what is going to happen. He saw dead bodies. He left home. They were forced by Zionist gangs to leave Akka and then to leave Yafa and then to leave Ras al Naqura. And now they are a strange country. Of course he's frightened. Why? Thinking, look at this, thinking that I am going to spend the night on the pavement, on the road. This is the first thing. This is the beginning of the answer to the question about becoming a refugee. What does it mean to be or to become a refugee? Spend the night on the pavement. Imagine yourself as a child spending the night on the pavement. That filled my spirit, excuse me. Now that filled my spirit with dreadful nightmares. Nightmares, copies, of course. Of course, you're going to sleep on the pavement. And of course you expect to have nightmares. Nobody to protect you, even though you are with your father and with your mother, and you cannot ask a single question to your father. No one, here is the point. Here is the point. Think about the child here, Ya Sabah, Ya Shabab. No one was there, even though his family was there. But look at this. No one was there to calm me down as a child. I tried, but I couldn't find any person to help me, explain to me what is happening. Why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to me? How many times you hear Palestinians in 2009 when the Israelis attacked Gaza, 2012, 2014, how many times you said this? How many times you saw Palestinian women saying, "Wain al-alam? Wain al-alam? Why is this happening to us?" And this is why he's saying the same question we are saying now. Here in Gaza, this siege, this blockade, al-Hisar, why is this happening to us? We want somebody to be able to answer this question. And this is why he's saying this question, which is very, very Palestinian. So he's Palestinian, he is colonized. The Israelis are colonizers. Okay, pay attention. Palestinian, victim, colonized, and oppressed, and refugee. What's left? Oppressed, refugee, victim, Palestinian, colonized. So I couldn't find any person to turn to. And how many times I said, we are on our own. محدش سمعنا. Where is the world? Nobody is heeding our call. Your father's rigid silence. So he's talking to his brother because he's saying, your father. Clear now? I think you agree with me now. I think you agree with me. Your father's rigid silence raised more fear in my heart. Because you asked questions as a child, then the first person you turn to is your father or your mother. And then so you want to say, Daddy, Baba, Yaba, what's happening? Why is this happening to us? But look at your father's face and he's silent. And this is why he said, this silence on my father's face raised more fear in my heart. Okay, he goes back now to the oranges. You remember the question about the oranges? Land of sad oranges. The oranges, your mother's hand, the mother was carrying oranges. What happened? What did they do? These oranges ignited fire in my chest. Of course, you know why. You know why? The land of sad oranges. So when I saw the oranges, how many times you heard, if you are from Jaffa, all of us know, I'm not from Jaffa, but I know very well that people loved Jaffa, right? Jaffa oranges. Why? Because they represent the lost homeland. The lost homeland, Palestine. So I looked at the oranges, and when I saw the oranges, that sight ignited fire in my chest. Everyone was silent, exactly like most of you now. I'm sure you are silent, and I'm sure you are following, and you understand what is happening. Everyone was silent. Everyone was looking at the black road. This is exile, المنفى, الشتات, غربة. Exile, diaspora. This is what he's talking about. Road. We are always on the road. You notice Palestinians are always in a hurry. Why? Because there is a destination they want to reach. They don't know what is that destination, but I'm telling you, he's telling us that destination. If your parents, if you are from Yibna, you want to go, your destination is Yibna, Jaffa, Haifa, Ramle, Lid, Zarnuga, Stud, Betras, etc., etc. There's always a road beside our head. Destination. That's exile. So, Baya wa Shabab, I know that you are listening very carefully. One of Edward Said's books is titled, two books actually, and I want you to write this down. If you don't, mind me later on. The first book is Reflections on Exile. Reflections, تأملات في المنفى. Reflections on Exile. Look at the title. تأملات المنفى. Reflections on Exile. All right? We'll ask about these titles, okay? The second book, look at the title, which is his memoirs, his biography, memoir, Out of Place. Out of place. I never felt after we left Palestine that this is my place. Out of place. When Edward Said died, Mahmoud Darwish wrote a poem for him, تأملات في المنفى. And Marcel Khalifa, I know you know Marcel Khalifa, منتصب القامة أمشي, that song. He made a song of it. المنفى. Listen to that song. Okay, the meeting will end in 10 minutes, yes, Abaya, okay? And then we'll meet again on Saturday. We'll meet again on Saturday, inshallah. So this is Manfa, exile, diaspora. Everyone was silent. Everyone was looking at the black road, hoping that some solution would materialize from around the corner and take us to a certain shelter, that somebody somehow would come and find a shelter. So our problem now is what? Shelter. Shelter. By the way, students who are coming now, too late. It's too late. You want to join? Join in time. Okay. So now they want to find a shelter. Then destiny came. Look at that, destiny. So God sent something or someone. Let's see. It came in the form of your uncle. So their uncle came. How? Where? He was not with them. Who had arrived in town a few days earlier. So the uncle had been there. Which town? Sidon. He was our destiny. So the uncle was there before them. He was their destiny. Your uncle wasn't a man of real values. He was a practical man, very serious about values. When he found himself on the road, he became more savage. When he found himself becoming a refugee, he became savage, angry. He went to a house. He went to a house where a Jewish family lived, a Jewish family in Saida, right? A Jewish Lebanese family. Opened the door. He opened the door of the Jewish family in Saida in Lebanon, threw the content of the room away and cried to their face. What did he say? The Jewish family in Saida, the uncle. He said, "Go to Palestine, because you say Palestine is yours. Go to Palestine." For sure, they didn't go to Palestine, of course, because they were Lebanese. Yes, Jews, but they were Lebanese. So they didn't leave their house. They didn't go to Palestine, but intimidated by his frustration, they were afraid, they were scared. Intimidated by his frustration and anger, they went to another room, leaving him to enjoy a roof and floor. So the house of the Jewish family was split, divided into two parts, one for the Jewish family and one for the uncle. And the uncle came to take the family with him. Your uncle led us to that room. We were heaped with his family, so everybody was there in that room. Family, people, and belongings and furniture. We slept on the floor. They were covered by the men's coat. They didn't have blankets. Of course, they were not prepared. They were not prepared. In the morning, when we woke up, the men were still the chairs. Meaning what? Meaning they didn't sleep. The men were sitting on the chairs all night long. They didn't sleep. The tragedy. This is the first time he uses the word tragedy. So now that they are becoming refugees, that is the beginning of their personal tragedies, every and each one of them, and collective tragedy, the Nakba, of the Palestinian people. The tragedy of the Palestinian people and his own tragedy, he says, the tragedy started to penetrate through our bodies, inside us, enter us, penetrate our bodies, all our bodies. So it is collective. This is important. This tragedy is, yes, personal, but also collective. And this is why he says, all our bodies. We didn't stay inside that long. Okay? We didn't stay long, just 3 days. Your uncle's room wasn't wide enough even for half of us. Of course, one room and I don't know how many families. Your mother asked your father either to find himself a job, of course, no money, find a job or return to the oranges, return to Palestine. Can he return to the oranges? Oranges, the land of sad oranges. All of us want to return to orange. I want to go to Jaffa, Haifa, etc. You want to visit, you want to go, and then either you find a job or you return to the oranges. He cannot return to the oranges, but he cannot find a job either. So now this is the beginning of the social problem. So here is the beginning of socio-political situation, social and political, socio-political problem. Your father exploded in her face, the mother's face. He said, find a job or take me back to Jaffa. And he exploded in her face. His voice was trembling with rage, anger, with anger. Then our family problem began. The beginning of their family problem. Social problems. Social problems here are the product of a political situation. It's the product, or these problems, social problems, are the product of the political context of the colonization of Palestine. We clear? The colonization of Palestine. So let's see now, the happy, strong bonded family. We were a happy family, strong bonded. We had the family, strong bonded family. We had once was left behind, perished. The happy family is gone, along what? With the orange groves. Oranges, happy family. Sad oranges, because we left, we become very sad family. We are no longer a happy, strong, bonded family. We left that happy family. Look at this now. Memories. But remember this. What's the Palestinian cause about? About memories. Orange groves. How many times you heard this? Ya salam, bayarat al-Burgan. Orange groves. The old house. This is why we still have the keys. We still have the keys. You have all these old people telling you, this is the key to my house when I return. Zarnuga and Jaffa and Yibna, etc. The orange groves, the old house, and the martyrs, Shuhada. This is Palestine. This is the definition of my identity, your identity, his identity. And that's what he wants to go back to return to. Again, for him, that is the meaning. Happiness, happy family, strong bonded family means happy oranges, the old house. But now, sad family, no longer strong bonded family, sad trees, the land of sand oranges, sand trees, sand orange trees. The old house is gone with the martyrs, the people who were killed, and we left them behind. Okay, Shabab wa Sabaya, 40 minutes, it's giving me a warning. We stop here. We'll send you a link. I will take all your names. I have them here. You have to attend these electronic classes, okay? And I will end now. And I will most probably see you again on Saturday. I will send you a link. Please check your Moodle every day, because I send you messages there. Every day, check your Moodles. We finished. Zoom is finishing now.